Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Contest of Speed Action. This is your host, Burzy J, and alongside me is DK Nortec. How are you doing, DK?
Uh, all right, or how about calling you DK? All right, Bersy. All right, Bersy. Considering with the technical difficulties of the wonderful PlayStation Network, yeah.
We are here. Yeah, sorry about that for those of you that were waiting on us. PlayStation Network is acting up, as DK just mentioned. But luckily we were able to get all of the drivers in the lobby, and now we are ready to go racing. So this week we were supposed to have a bye for American Thanksgiving, but we had a makeup race to do. So here we are at the Hungaro ring, making up round 14, I believe. So this should be a good one, DK.
Yes, I know. Early stages of a Hungarian Grand Prix can be exciting, but then sometimes the races kind of taper out and everybody gets spread out. And but hopefully these AM2 guys always put on a great show. Hopefully they can make it exciting for us.
No, absolutely. Always some exciting battles, especially at the top. Kit and Petter looking to get some solid points as him and Bodhod both had an unfortunate showing last week with some at Russia with some unfortunate penalties under the safety cars, both receiving drive-through penalties. But yeah, that was a crazy race, DK. I know you were away, had the night off, but now you're back, so we'll see what we can get up to here at Hungary. I believe the race is dry. I'm waiting to get word from the drivers, but we will see. So obviously quali's looking pretty dry, a little overcast, but nothing too crazy. It looks like Amram's about to start a hot lap here, just building a gap to Bodhod.
I believe our first driver on a lap will be I think the Williams of iFunner. No, I'm wrong. I'm all kinds of wrong. Joel Granger is subbing in. I think that's how you say that. Will be the first one to put in a lap.
All right, well, we'll hop on board with the Briton. He is filling in for Arkaka. So, looking solid so far. Getting into sector 3 now.
I think he's a EU3 driver, I believe.
I believe you are correct there, sir.
Yes.
Yes, so here he is, rounding turn 14. The parabolic, a very tough corner to nail right, carry your speed, easy to drift wide or lose the rear end. So opening lap of a 14.887. It's a great lap for Joel. So it looks like the next car coming around the corner should be iFunner. So we'll see here, and then we'll hop on board. It looks like the Alpha Tories are letting guys by, sector 1. So 16.6 for iFunner. Good banker lap. Bodhod is coming to the pits. I don't know if Bodhod's trying something different. It was just Rogue's in the middle and invalidation, but SRS just going for P1 here with a 14.871. DK, what's the preferred strategy here around Hungary? I believe it's medium to hard.
I believe it's medium hard, I would say, or soft hard potentially.
Oh, if you could make a soft hard work, that would be impressive.
I think you can. I think. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's doable.
Yeah, I think you'd really have to stretch those softs. I don't think they would like you very much by the time you get to that pit window, but could be done. Yes, indeed.
With these guys qualifying on the softs, they're going to have to make something work because I wouldn't want a two-stop. I don't know what to do. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, chance for safety car. I mean, especially this corner right now where Rogue is, turn 5. There's that death curb on the inside, and if you get your wheels on there, it'll spin you pretty easily. But I don't know. Maybe there's one safety car or VSC in this race. I can't imagine more than that. Nothing as crazy as some of our other races we've had this season. But
definitely, yeah. Turn 5, catching that curve and can spin you into the inside wall. And then turn 6 after that, I know if you get on that curb, it can spin you around too, so
Absolutely.
could cause some safety cars.
100%. Yeah, the curbs around here are not great. Rogue coming around turn 14, the final corner, and going third fastest with a 15.2. And it looks like we've got the AlphaTauri boys. Oh, Google Dougal has invalidated, but I wonder if Andrew... They're trying to set laps on mediums here, so interesting strategy. Well, I mean, that's what you want to be doing here, actually. Sorry, my bad. You want to be setting your laps on your mediums.
Medium hard potential strategy.
So Andrew has done pretty well this season, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, DK, in the standings, but I believe Andrew's P2 in the standings right now, behind Bodha.
P3, I believe.
P3,
I think Kitten
okay.
Petter's up there in P2.
Okay, so Kitten Petter has jumped up. Okay. And I think, has Bodhod won the championship, or is it still possible for one of those, for Kitten Petter to catch him?
See, this is why I don't like having an off week. I'm all lost.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm all lost. Not prepared.
Oh,
especially with
okay.
the PlayStation issues.
That's okay. Oh, young DJ has invalidated a lap. Google Dougal has now started his run. So see if he can set a lap time on those mediums. Andrew going 6th fastest with a 15.741. So we got 35 laps around the Hungaro ring. And so it'll be interesting. It's a long one. It's a marathon. It's definitely not a sprint, this track.
It's a quick lap time, but like this track it'll wear you out with all the quick left right turns, and it seems like you're always turning here. You're never really going straight, except on the main straight.
Absolutely. Oh, and Google Dougal has aborted from his lap. Wonder here, is this Bodhod going for a run on his... No, Bodhod is invalidated. The only other driver... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to let you know I got the standings up, but you can go ahead.
Perfect. No, go for it.
Yeah, so Bodhod, P1, 264 points, and his closest rival is Andrew. You were right, Andrew is P2 with 178, and then Kitten Petter P3 of 173. So Bodhod's almost got a 100-point lead. So
oh my goodness,
I'd say he's with what six rounds to go, 7 rounds to go. He probably almost just about has it locked up, unless he just DNFs every race or doesn't score any points. Then,
I think that's. I mean, unless he has the mishap like he had with mismanaging the Delta at Russia last week, I'd imagine he's going to be scoring points in every race this season, so that's pretty tough for Andrew to overcome, and I know Kit and Petter even, so
but that battle for P2 only six points apart.
Yeah, so the battle for P2 will be the one to watch. So Kitten Petter's going for a lap on the softs here, but I mean, he's got lots of time to set a lap on me. Oh, sorry, he's on me. Sorry. My bad. Commentator's curse. Kitten is into the wall.
No. Turn 5.
Turn 4, turn 5 in there. He's caught that inside curb and lost his front wing damage there, unfortunately. For
I think last season that turn had a name. I forgot what we called it.
Oh.
But I know it had a name.
I wonder if in the chat someone can help us out with the name of this corner. I think it might be blank corner, but that might be a different track altogether. I could be wrong.
I think that was, I don't know, it could be. Chat, help us out.
Yeah, honestly. Someone will fill us in. Alright, so looks like Kaz has invalidated his lap as well. So almost half the grid still has to set a lap. Bodhod now ripping through Sector 2. The very fast sector.
On the mediums this time too. He did do the first couple laps on softs and invalidated. So now he's figured it could be better just to qualify on mediums and do the one-stop strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think consistency will be key for the Australian. to lock out this championship. And
So
as
I
he
don't know
comes
how to
across the
say this.
line, oh,
No, I interrupted.
15.8.
Bot I just P7.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this dude's name in the chat, but RUSLPZ said it's called Bean Corner, but
Bean
could be
Corner.
potentially.
Oh, it's
Bean,
named. It's named
Well,
after Bean Sandwich. Hey ho, I
is
say
it?
JK.
Well, I
That's,
don't know. He just commented. He says LOL JK,
yeah.
but he does know Bean has put it in the wall there before.
So I've missed out on Rumfresh has set a great lap on softs at 15.0 for P3. And Kitten Petter has just come out of the pit lane, so he will look to start his run. But Kaz, we'll go back on board with Kaz. Just coming around the Parabolica, turn 14. Nice tight line. And coming across the line will be good enough for P10 and 18.9. And young DJ, as I was about to switch over to him, has just gone fourth fastest, 15.1. So now we look, oh, it looks, oh, Porridge has invalidated his lap, so Porridge will have to dip into the pits here. So this will be interesting because we'll only have 4 drivers that'll have the preferred alternate strategy if they so choose.
Yes.
Oh, Alp. Okay, so jumping over to turn 5, the name. Blank Bend is in Japan, blank Turn is in Hungary, and blank Corner is in Bahrain, according to Alp.
So our fearless
Yeah.
Blank, which we so deeply miss, has a lot of
Yes.
there's a lot of corners named after him.
So who do we got? Who's on? Yeah. Oh, it looks like young DJ is going for another run on softs because he's. Oh no, he's killing it now. Thought maybe he was. I thought maybe he had something up his sleeve here, but looks like we'll follow along with Kitten Petter. Hopefully the commentator's curse doesn't get him out this time. Coming around turn 2. Follow on board with him here. As you come over this crest, slight lift and turn in. Ooh, double downshift, very nice.
Very neat. Typically you only downshift once there.
Yeah. Hey, not gonna mess with the man who's super
no,
quick.
Definitely not.
He's got a method to the madness, this guy. Kitten Petter, our our commentating comrade doing the AM1 races for us. Coming down into turn 12. Very smooth on the power, very smooth on the brakes. Ooh, a bit of a lock up there. And looking to roll the speed as much as he can. Coming out, getting on that power early, and good enough for a 16.0 for Kitten Petter. And then I don't think he's going to do a double run here on the mediums, but he might. Looks like VTEC's looking to push with 0. Oh, just kidding. P-Dog. Oh, Bodhod has gotten by. It looks like Joel. Is that Porridge back there? Yeah, that is Porridge. Let's let Bodhod by.
Bothod's on the softs now.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, he just invalidated. Unless. No, he's on an outlap. Never mind.
He's on his outlap. He's okay. Yeah, so he's about to start.
Yeah.
He's running the softs. I'll leave the best laps up on screen for everybody here. But Bodhod is on the softs, looking for a big run. Yeah, Lopez is right. We miss Mitch as well. We do miss our beloved Mitch. I believe he's still involved in the Contest of Speed community. He's been doing a lot of iRacing, I believe.
iRacing, where is that? We do. Oh, Bodhod!
Oh no!
He's coming out of turn 3.
I was looking down at the chat for a second there, and I look up, and Bodhod is losing his wing.
That is very unfortunate for the championship leader. But when you got almost a 100-point lead, I mean, you kind of can't afford to make mistakes all the time. But
no,
you got a bit of
not at all. So, is gonna be, looks like Rumfresh will be starting a lap. Is that Joel? No, Joel's chilling in the pit lane. Joel's happy with P3. So Porridge is on a lap, and we'll look to see if Porridge can get himself up there on the mediums. He set some pretty strong races this season. Almost looked like he's going to the pits there, but he's staying out, setting this lap. And good enough for P12, the 16.6. So Google Doogle's the last one to set a time.
Oh no, there's been an accident
Uh-oh.
at the pit exit.
Is that
Looks like Rogue and
is it possibly
Joel?
Came into the pit
Yeah,
so
Joel and Rogue came together.
So Rogue's missing front wing, so he won't be happy about that. Unfortunately for them coming together. Oh, P-Dog has come into the pit lane. Now who is...
Yeah.
Is that SRS? Oh, SRS is on his outlap.
Trying to improve his provisional pole time.
So everybody's kind of come out together, hoping to get across the line right before the clock hits 0. I believe we are like 20 seconds behind, ish.
I hope so, because I don't think any of these guys are going to make it.
I don't
Except
know.
maybe.
So the front car is Rogue
Joel and
yeah, so I can't.
Kaz.
So
those two might make it, but I think everybody behind them will not. If our clock is accurate, but who knows? Yeah,
I think there's going to be a little bit of leeway. Like once, I guess we'll find out here. But Joel's looking to set a time. See, he's going to be pushing it really close, according to our time. But he should have a little bit of.
So our time, Joel made it. SRS just slowed down way much, so we're definitely behind. The game doesn't let you do that glitch anymore either.
No,
so.
They've patched that glitch where you could cross the start finish at the zeros. So we'll ride on board with Joel, looking to see if he can get his, I believe, his maiden pole in AM2.
Oh, definitely is. I think this is AM2 debut.
I believe
to be honest. So yes.
Looking very smooth so far, getting to turn 6. Very tricky section with these giant sausage curbs here. Really forces you to stay in between them. In the last game, you could really abuse those curbs to gain time, but here you gotta. They made the curves a lot bigger. And upsets the car a lot more. Oh, as Joel just goes wide at the exit of turn 11 and invalidates his lap. So unfortunate for him. Will have to be stuck with P3. SRS was able to get across the line, as was iFunner. So we'll pop over to iFunner here quickly. Oh, iFunner's invalidated. So SRS
invalidated as well.
SRS can set a lap if he wants, but doesn't need to because he is a P1. And
see if he improves though, and he will improve to a 14.1.
Yeah, nice time from SRS.
It's pretty good qualifying from SRS as well, because from what I can remember, he hasn't had the best string of races. He's finished in the points, but it's been the lower end of the points after he had a really strong start to the season.
Yeah, on SRS on his best day is podium finisher for sure. And he's had a bad string of luck the last few races, like you said, and hopefully he can keep things consistent and stay. I think with him being P1, battling with Andrew and Joel, that'll be a really good battle at the front. So there you have
it. And then you got
it.
Bothod and Kitten going to be coming up the field, more than likely.
Yeah, both of those drivers are very, very confident in traffic and know how to get moves done early and have really solid pace. But here we have it. Here's our top 14 drivers. We've got SRS and then Andrew, then Joel, and then Rumfresh joining Joel on the second row. Young DJ and Rogue, row 3. P-Dog and iFunner, row 4. VTech and Bodhod, row 5. Kitten and Porridge, row 6. And Kaz and Google Doogle on the back row, row 7, to start the Hungarian Grand Prix. So for those of you watching, would love to get your podium predictions in. And hit the teaser. Take this break in the action to remind you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our Twitch channel and also to find us on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find us on our Discord as well. And tomorrow's night's action, we have EU1 at 10 p.m. UK time, followed by AM1 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday, we'll have EU4 at 10 p.m. UK time.
I don't think EU4 races this week.
Oh,
because
you know what? So
yeah.
You're right. They are doing, I believe
Yeah.
they're doing an unofficial race. I don't think it's being streamed or anything. That's right, because this is the break week. Just a habit.
Potentially. Could be. Yeah, I got you. Also, tomorrow will be a good day to watch some contests of speed because you get two different tracks, two different tiers.
Yes.
EU1 will be at Austria, and then AM1 will be at Vietnam. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should be good. We've got Amram, Bodhod, and Joel, and from Alp we've got Bodhod, Andrew, and then I believe this is Lopez. The RUS LPZ is Lopez, and I believe he hasn't picked a P1 from what I can tell. Is there a stream glitch? Oh, here, let's try this. Sorry guys. I must have forgot to turn off the teaser. And Arbar's thinking Kitten, Amram, and maybe Bodhod. So, Lopez said Kitten P1. So that'll be an interesting one. Alrighty. Yeah, I think Amram and Andrew and Joel, and even Rumfresh, that'll be a really good battle to watch going into turn 1. Rogue, if Rogue gets a good start, he'll be right in on the action. Young DJ had a great qualifying. P-Dog's got pace on his best day. P-Dog's got some really good pace, and I believe he won the Dutch Grand Prix at the Netherlands track at Zandvoort. So I really should brush up on my memory there, but I think it's only 2 races ago. I think that's who won it. So here we are, drivers forming up the grid.
P-Dog was super quick at this track.
Yep. So we'll turn on the tires. So we'll see. So P-Dog, only one inside P-Dog and Bodhod, only ones inside the top 10 on mediums. Then you got Kitten, Porridge, and Google Doogle on mediums. Kaz has opted for the hards. Alrighty, we've got 5 lights. The lights are out.
We'll wait for the blitz.
And we're off. Looks like Andrew's got a fantastic start into turn 1. Joel, also great start. Amram, a little bit of a slow start. Looks like Rogue, or Rumfresh, great inside line. Getting squeezed out a little bit by Joel. Oh man, 3 wide into turn 1. Rogue has a great start up to P3 already. So fantastic start for Rogue. Looks like Kitten Petter's up a few spots as well. Kitten Petter up 5 spots, sorry, so quite a few spots for Kitten Petter. Oh, we got some big carnage in the middle of the field.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, dear. It looks like Porridge and P-Dog had come together. VTech's taken a penalty here for some damage. So we have a VSC already on lap 1. Oh, dear.
That is a very unusual spot for the guys to come together like that.
Very unusual. They must have just clipped each other on exit. Unfortunately, had the worst camera angle. I was trying to keep it in broadcast mode, and it was looking at it from turn 4, looking all the way down that straight, and all of a sudden we just see carnage in the distance, and before you know it, we've got P-Dog out of this race. Porridge Power took some severe damage to his car, so we'll look to dive into the pitch. I believe VTech has also picked up some damage on his wing. Kaz looks clean, so just a little bit of carnage there, but unfortunate. And it looks like we're back to green already, so it looks like the marshals have gotten the mess cleaned up after turn 3, and we are back to go racing. Andrew down into turn 1.
Bodhod's in the pits.
Oh, was it a
Well,
bot
good
pick up
take.
some damage as well?
Yes, he did.
So,
Oh, there's another yellow. Portage is around.
uh-oh.
Is that in the pit entrance? Yep, pit
Yeah,
entrance.
yeah, he's probably having some trouble there. All right, so get on board with Rum Fresh, who's hot on the heels of Joel, looking to get P4.
Oh, very smart to back out. I was hoping he was not gonna send it in the turn 4 or 5, whichever. I think that's turn 5. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Parabolic
young DJ's around and turn. Oh, we caught that inside curb.
Young DJ caught the blank turn and spun his car and back down to P10. It looks like SRS and Andrew have a commanding lead already out of DRS range from Rogue, so unsurprisingly there's two guys very quick around this track. And Kitten Petter looking to work his way up the field, currently up 5 spots. But there we are. That's been some wild action, DK, in this first few laps. Already a couple of yellow flags and we've already got a DNF.
Yeah, first couple of laps pretty crazy. The field's starting to get a bit strung out a little bit. We still got some close battles through P3 through P6. So look at that, but looks like everybody's starting to settle back down. Long race, it's a marathon, no sprint.
Absolutely. Kitten Petter has a really tight gap to Rum Fresh at the moment, but the Hungary Ring's one of those tracks where you can be as close as you want, but there's really no good overtaking opportunities. You really got to force your opponent into a mistake or else get him on that front DRS straight. So we'll look to see what Kitten's cooked up his sleeve here to get ahead. Oh, as Joel is also gonna be closing up on Rogue A-Wing here for P3 soon. Oh, SRS. Maybe SRS will be the battle to watch here for the lead.
Real quick, he will have DRS too. He's just too far away with the ERS that Andrew has.
So we'll hop back here. We'll see Joel looks to the outside at turn 1, but can't. Oh.
Does a little crossover move.
Goes for a little switchback. Schumacher-esque switchback. It's a great battle forming here. Oh, Rogue is really getting the elbows out. Rogue picking up multiple warnings. 3-second penalty.
And Amram as well, picking up a penalty.
If I remember correctly, this is another track where you want to try to limit your penalties as much as you can, because you will pick up a lot of warnings around here if you're not careful.
Yes, the turn 8, I believe that is turn 8 or 9, the exit curb, you can run wide there easily, and the game doesn't give you much margin for error. And then the turn 5, you can cut that.
Yep.
There are people pushing the limits and running wide there as well on the exit.
Absolutely.
Those are the trouble spots.
Yeah, drivers just got dialed in for 35 laps, and it's grueling. It's really takes a lot of focus to keep it clean. But here we are, SRS going for another run at Andrew, but again too far away to make something happen. Looks like Joel is already in the pit, so his soft's not feeling great. Pitting onto medium, so he's committing to the 2-stop strategy. And we'll hop back on track with the action. Oh, so it looks like Kitten Petter has gotten by Rum Fresh off screen for P4. It was only a matter of time.
Great start from Kitten Petter. Started P11.
Yeah.
All the way up to P4 now.
Yeah, absolutely great start for Kitten Petter.
Yep. And he's on what I believe is the optimal strategy.
I would have to agree with you there. I think the 1-stop medium to hard is the best play if you've got the pace for it. Definitely superior to an extra stop. So far, looks like Google Dougal might be closing up on iFunner here shortly. I'd imagine we're at that threshold now where the soft tires are really starting to feel really gross, and the mediums are in the optimal window for their grip. So we will see here if Google Doodle can make something happen on iFunner.
You're right. This is just one of those tracks where, if you remember, like Germany in the last game, where the softs don't last like at all.
Yeah, absolutely. It's try to get off of those. Try to do what you need to do on the softs, but try to get off of them as soon as you can. Looks like SRS was able to use DRS to close up on Andrew, but great helicopter shot here from Codemasters. Oh, Andrew running, or Amram running wide. Probably picked up a warning there, if I had to guess.
You would guess correctly.
Arbar thinks that the optimum window for softs is 7 laps in the chat, so I assume that sounds about right.
Yes. So closest battle on track right now is for P1. Amram picks up another 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's picked up warnings and penalties at both spots in the track that I pointed out earlier. So
yeah, I think those softs are gonna start to give way, and start to naturally just drift offline a little bit more. So he's got to be a little more careful. Oh, as Kitten Petter gets by Rogue. Oh, Rogue's into the pit lane. Sorry, I had the penalty. I had the penalty tab open on stream here and didn't. I had the penalty tab open on screen and didn't see that he was in the pit lane. So Kitten Petter's now
very
got
anticlimactic.
Very anticlimactic. I thought Kitten Petter put on some great move off screen. So now Kitten Petter's got clean air, and now he can really build a gap from the other competitors on similar strategies. So looking at stops, it looks like Kaz would be similar, and Google would be the only two that would be on the same strategy as Kitten Petter. So
everybody who has pitted also started on the softs has pitted to the mediums, so I would have to think that's a 2-stop strategy. So Kitten Petter, even though we're only on lap 7, he's looking pretty good.
No, absolutely. I think you're right, TK. I think
and he is closing that gap to the leaders as they're going in the pits.
Yeah.
Both of them together.
Right as Arbar said at the end of lap 7, getting into the pit lane. Yes, I can put the tires on for you guys. Oopsies. There we are. So, looking at where we are, it looks like these guys should jump out around P6. Oh, that's a great stop for them. They'll be ahead of P6 even. Nope.
Interesting too, Andrew deciding to go for the hard tires, so he's going for that one-stop soft-hard strategy, and Amram behind him went for the mediums.
Yeah, I think that's a bold move from Andrew, but if he knows he's got the pace on those hards, I think that's the right call at this point in the to make something different and distance yourself out from Amram.
Definitely, it just takes them a little bit to come in though, so Amram will probably be right on him for the first couple of laps at least.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Although Amram does have to put up with his teammate who's right behind him too, so maybe they'll call for some team orders and let one of them by. Maybe not, because SRS was ahead on track prior to the pit stops. Room Fresh might be getting a move done on Kaz here soon, but I think this battle for the overall lead potentially.
If those like 3 or 4 start battling back there too, that's just only gonna help Kitten Petter more.
Absolutely, yeah, because Kitten Petter still has to stop, although he is. I think the pit stop it looks like it was about 18 to 19 second pit stop.
Oh,
so
Amram might send it on Andrew. He's gonna look to the outside. He's a good space. He's gonna hang around. Oh, they're gonna go side by side into turn 3.
Looks like if Andrew can hold that line, he'll have the preferred line going into turn 4. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what you need.
Great,
Yeah,
great
if
job.
you got that inside right there, you're gonna get it every time.
Oh, now it looks like Rogue and Amram
Oh,
are... Oh!
Rogue sent one on Amram, but Rogue runs way wide. I think you got to give the place back right there.
I think you do, especially because Amram is technically the further ahead on track. I think you gotta concede your spot to your teammate there in that scenario, but nonetheless, this just makes Andrew's life, well, potentially a little bit easier, but if Rogue's got the pace, he's gonna give Andrew some difficulty here. Yes, Arbar, it was an illegal overtake, so he really should give that spot back, and if he doesn't, probably will get sent in by someone, I'm sure, but nonetheless, this is the closest battle on track for sure. So we'll look to see here. We've got the double DRS from the Renaults. And we'll look to see if Rogue's going to go for a move down the inside. Andrew's really got his hands full at the moment in turn 1. But he's able to keep both the Renaults at bay for now.
Found it pretty interesting. Amram went all the way down to the inside of the track before turn 1. Possibly maybe letting his teammate know, hey, I want the position back, but Rogue is having none of that.
Yeah, it's a good observation there, DK. I think he might be trying to signal to his teammate that, hey, like, I am faster. I did qualify ahead of you, so let me enjoy this battle with the guy up at the that should be at the front. But looking at the gap here, it looks like these guys have already starting to close the gap down to Kit and Petter a little bit. Not much though. Oh, Young DJ's out of this race.
Young DJ, I think he retired on track.
Oh.
From not an accident though. I think
he
like paused and retired.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll have to confirm that, as that isn't allowed. But we'll go back over. Oh, as SRS goes to send it down the outside on Rogue. And it looks like Rogue is defending hard against his teammate. This can only end... Oh, SRS does get by. I was going to say this could only end in a disaster, but it looks like SRS was able to get the move done. This only allows Andrew to build bigger gap to SRS, though. So...
Yep. But if you look during all that battling too, Kit Petter's pulled out 11-second gap. That was 3 seconds in like a lap and a half almost.
Crazy.
Almost 2 laps that he pulled out just from them racing each other.
And Kit and Petter just methodical around the track right now. Those mediums, I think those mediums should be going to about lap 12, I believe.
12, 13. I think 12 to 14. I think is how long you can make them last. Yeah. 14 at the most, I want to say.
That sounds about right. I know we've been preparing for Vietnam this week, so as our makeup race in AM1, so the strategies for Hungary elude me a little bit. But SRS going to get a move done on Andrew as Andrew defends the inside line very smartly. And it looks like he's going to follow on board from Rogue from behind, but it looks like Andrew is able to keep SRS behind him. So great defending from Andrew. Oopsies, we'll go, this is what I want. We'll watch the battle as Andrew keeps these two charging Renaults behind him. Again, this just shows how frustrating it is to try and get an overtake done here at the Hungaro ring, as these drivers are consistently right there, but there's not really any good spot except for that front straight to get a move done.
Like you gotta get clear of somebody before you get to turn 1 to even probably think about passing them, because just the way that the track opens up on the exit, everybody's just side by side going down to turn 3.
So it looks like Joel Granger's fresher mediums have allowed him to close right up to Google. I wonder if Google is struggling a little bit on those mediums, because Joel's going to have DRS. I don't know if he's going to be... he might be pretty close here for an overtake, but we will see as he's pushing the beams right now.
Kit Petter is pitted.
So lap
He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out right in this battle. He's gonna come out right in the battle of the Reynolds, right behind him.
Oh, so Amram, it looks. Oh, and off screen, it looks like Amram was able to finally get by Andrew, and now Kitten Petter has got to deal with Rogue and this battle ahead.
That is excellent, like strategy and tire management from Kitten Petter though, because he's come out right behind these guys.
Yeah.
And both the Reynolds with penalties, and Andrew on roughly the same tire freshness as Kitten Petter, so that's perfect.
Yeah, I do think though, DK, once we get to the end of this race, those extra 4 laps will probably play a factor in Kitten Petter's favor, because those tires will start to fall off near the end of this race, if I remember correctly. And it looks like Arbar was saying it was 13 to 14 laps for the mediums. That sounds about right.
So yeah, Joel did get around Google Doogle. I don't know if you caught that or not.
I missed that when I was following the Andrew and SRS battle behind, and we'll have to go right back to it because now we're in a little bit of a DRS drain. But Joel has claimed P1, but he will have to stop again. So now he's really got to push and build a gap to the leaders. Looks like if we think it's about an 18-second pit stop, and it looks like he'll end up somewhere around P, hard to say, probably P7, P6.
Yes,
maybe
I would say so.
But I mean, the fact that Google
P8 maybe.
Yeah, maybe P8. The fact that Google Doogle is still on these mediums is impressive. I had expected him to get off of them by now. Get onto those hard tires carried out.
After the string of corners he just put through, I'd probably get off of him right here.
Yeah.
It looked like he was really struggling for grip. As he's gonna stay out.
Alrighty, so here we are. Andrew just unable to close down on SRS down the front straight. And now Rogue and Kitten Petter closing up on Andrew. That's not what Andrew wants at the moment.
Nope.
It's kind of tough.
He also got Google Doogle in front of Amram, and on those older tires, it could slow Amram down for his teammate Andrew behind.
I was just gonna say, like, for Andrew, like, he doesn't his fight isn't really with Rogue, because Rogue still needs to pit, but you got Kitten Petter like right there, so you do in a way need to kind of force them, keep them both behind you. So it's putting extra stress on Andrew's tires. I imagine his tires aren't feeling too great right now.
Yeah, I would think. Obviously, I think everybody on the mediums right now will have to pit again for the end of the race.
For sure.
So the race right now is pretty much between Andrew and Kitten.
Yeah. Yeah, unless something crazy happens here and we have a safety car, it allows those two stoppers to get back into the hunt here. But I guess we'll find out as we get into this race. As SRS goes for a move down the inside on Google Doogle, and Google Doogle goes to fight back, but SRS is able to stay ahead going down into turn 2. It looks like Kitten Petter was almost getting by Rogue as well, so some good action so far in AM2.
Oh, definitely.
We're almost at the halfway point of this race. We had an unfortunate DNF for P-Dog, lap 1. At exit of turn 3, and then young DJ earlier in this, a couple laps ago in this race, unfortunately retired from track, so not sure what happened there, if it was a DNF or what. I think a crash it, but so Bodhod getting by Rum Fresh. I guess Bodhod's kind of had a quiet race. He's kind of being on the the two-stop strategy. We haven't really picked up much on his race too much here. But he'll have to go on the soft
he's just been kind of. He's just been kind of by himself. Had that wing damage from the lap 1 accident.
Google is finally into the pit lane, and so now the front runners are released. As looks like Kittenpetter is looking to get out, gonna move down a Rogue, looking down the inside. Rogue goes to defend. Rogue gets a little loose though, and Kittenpetter is able to get by for P4.
Good move by Kitten. Good on Rogue too to leave him the space. I know Kitten wasn't all the way there, but good driving from Rogue to be aware.
No, absolutely. I think Rogue did all he could there. He picked his line and stuck to it and hoped that he could use those medium tires to have a little bit more grip, but unfortunately Kittenpetter just with the better line and fresher tires able to just stick it down the inside and get up to P4, and now Kitten and Andrew are duking it out for what we feel is like the lead of this race. Net lead.
Provisional lead. That's what we'll call it.
Alright, the provisional lead. I'm going to pop over and look at the penalties quick. So, Amram with 6, Rogue with 6, and then Bod with 3, and Rum with 3, and Kaz with 3, and Forge with 6.
You got a racing point spinning off on the exit of turn 6.
Looks like that's
I'll get back going though. Kitten's gonna look to the outside of Andrew. Nothing to it, but then he'll have the inside going down to turn 3.
Oh, Kitten and Andrew going side by side. Oh, getting really close together, but Andrew able to stick it out around the outside, having the preferred line for turn 4, or turn 3, sorry. And going into turn 4 now. Kittenpetter hungry for that victory. But Andrew, great job defending.
I'm going to throw in this pun. He is hungry for the win at Hungary.
He is hungry. Hey, gotta love it, gotta love it. Well, right now, this is the closest battle on track, with Rogue potentially also in DRS, but now
Andrew had a real good second sector there. He's able to pull a decent sized gap to Kitten there.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the way Kitten's car is set up, or just naturally just how well Andrew drives through that second sector, but really able to pull ahead a great lead, like you say. Here we are. Oops, jumped ahead. I am looking at the leader right now. We'll go back over to the battle on track for P3. Kittenpetter closing right up within half a second, just breathing in the fumes of Andrew's car.
Honda, the power of dreams.
Yep. Inhaling those dreams as Rogue goes really wide at the exit of turn 9.
Amram picked up another penalty that gives him 9 seconds. Amram, even though he's fast, he has really abused those track limits.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's going to be his downfall here, is all those time penalties are going to add up, as Kittenpetter going down the outside again on Andrew.
I think this time he's going to have him.
It looks like this time he has been able to get by. The game is giving him the position. Oh, and nice. He's able to squeeze Andrew out. And now get a run on into turn 4. A great little battle there between Kitten and Andrew. Oh, is Google. It looks like Rogue is in the pit lane. Or was. So now Rogue is looking to battle up with Google here. So Rogue, interesting enough, has opted for the soft medium strategy. So he's gonna look to take these mediums to the end.
Oh, he's gonna go to the outside of Google Doogle on turn 5.
Interesting. Wow, great, ambitious move for Rogue. That was a creative interpretation of the track image. So I'd imagine that one might be getting sent in. So Joel is in for his final stop. Looks like Joel's going to pop out around P6. Looks like based on when he's stopping here, I'd imagine he's going on to mediums, and he is.
Kitten Petter just set the fastest lap of the race.
Wow. Kitten Petter just... He's moving his boots right now. And that's what he needs, I think, at this point in the race. You gotta squeeze out everything you can, and... Because now as these guys on these fresher softs come out, they'll start to pick up some quick lap times and close the gap back down as these hards start to fall off. Oh, Google Doogle, and I wonder if Google Doogle's going to be able to get a move done on Rogue here.
I think Kitten might have Amram on track before Amram even pits. Close the gap down already within a second of Amram.
Crazy. Oh, Kaz is into the pits. He's gone 20 laps on those hard tires, so great work for him. I'd imagine he's hopping on the mediums and will finish out the race.
He's putting softs on. Those aren't going to last.
Those are. I don't think those are going to last that long, but ambitious.
I don't think so.
Well, you can try.
He's P12.
Right.
I think he's upset.
So Kitten Petter has overtaken SRS, who dives in the pit lane. So now it's Kitten Petter and Andrew sprinting to the finish. And Bodhod, I'm assuming is Bodhod's stretching these mediums out, and then Bodhod will go into softs at the end of this race, if I had to guess.
Bodhod's gone 19 laps on those mediums. It's pretty impressive from what I've seen.
Very impressive.
From the others in this race.
Everybody's pretty spaced out at the moment. I don't really know who to follow because we've got a little bit of a gap. I'd assume Joel is going to close up on Bodhod here shortly, so maybe we'll get on board with these two. How do Bodhod's tires look, DK?
Bodhod tires are sitting at... He's got 74% on the left front, and then 65 on the right front. Yep. And then his rears are both at 55. As he's staying out. So he's closing in on puncture territory if he ain't careful.
Alright, so Joel Granger got DRS on Bodhod, closing in, looking to the outside. Oh, there's a light contact there. But Joel forces Bodhod out of the way more or less and is able to get P3. So now Joel will be off to the races, and looks like in his AM2 debut, DK, he's on pace for a podium.
Yep, looking like it. Right on board with Bodhod. I'm just curious to see if his tire can make it another lap.
Kind of crazy, you can see the tire wear. Cody's did do a good job with some things, like how they did the graphics on the tires this year. I'm sure
visually it is a great game.
It is a beautiful game to look at. I agree. I didn't think they were going to be able to top 2019, and they somehow they were able to do it. It looks superb. But the other issues with the game, I don't know. For how nice it looks, I'd sacrifice visuals for a game that handles a little bit better personally, but it doesn't have so many bugs. But nonetheless, here we are. So Joel's already pulled out a 3-second gap, and
Joel did just he did just put in the fastest lap of the race. So even though he's like on the, his mediums are going to be hurting maybe toward the end of the race, he does have those 2 hard runners in front of him, so he is going to be quicker than them right now.
Yeah, and if he can manage his tires correctly and keep up some solid pace at the same time, I mean, he might close down on Andrew by the end of this race if he's got the pace. But we'll watch that gap a little bit closer. Looks like SRS and SRS to Bodhod will be the closest battle on track.
Yep, Bodhod's got to be pitting soon though. He's let's see, just crossed into 80% on that left front tire. So pretty impressive. Definitely going to try to go to the softs, I would say.
Oh, definitely. At this point now, with 10 laps to go, you'll be jumping on. Bodhod will be jumping on the softs, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
And he's sticking it out. So
he's sticking it. I think he's got to do at least one, maybe 2 more laps on those mediums to make those softs really go the rest of the race. But at least 1 more lap.
Well, we'll see. He does have to start defending a little bit here. Amram, who's closed that gap down to half a second and closing in. But looking at the penalties quickly, Amram has 9 and Bodhod has 6, so hopefully these two don't get too jabby going into corners.
Talk about that gap from Joel to Andrew. Joel did close that down almost 2 seconds in a lap.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a world where Joel gets P2 here, and that will be quite impressive because the gap from Andrew to Kittenpetter has increased from 4 seconds to 5. So.
Oh, Bodhod's got a puncture.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Wrong button. There we are. Yes, Bodhod has a puncture, so he has stretched those tires out 22 laps before getting a puncture, so that's impressive work. But I
maybe
can see
not
why,
the fastest option, but
no, I can see why he was trying to commit to that 2-stop strategy, but or on the softs, I should say, but tough go for the Australian. Maybe we'll see now on the softs if he can claim fastest lap around at this race. We'll see.
yeah, I don't argue with the people that race in the future upside down. So
no, absolutely.
They
They know more than we do.
that is for sure, definitely.
So fastest lap currently held by Joel, 17.6. I'd imagine Bodhod will put a time up in the 16s. Bodhod is quite quick. And with if Bodhod wins AM2, he will be promoted up to AM1.
Yeah, top three get promoted up, I believe. Unlike the bottom 3 in AM1 right now, DK gets AM2, but that's okay. That is a-okay. It's all fun and games.
It is. Hey, I feel you, man. I'm right there with you. Lucking out if I get that final point week in and a week out, but for the most part, usually at the back battling like around P15. So I feel your pain. But just gotta keep grinding and chipping away at it, and eventually the points will come. And then if we stop finding these aliens, not that we don't want to, we like having the aliens around, the Alps and the Speedstas of the world, but then you could get a podium. But we have a lot of quick guys in AM1, and it's very fun to watch them duke it at the top. And
just
amazing. We battle it out for AM 1.5, and that's how it is. So Bodhod ripping out purple sector 1. Let's see now, using all of his ERS. But so Joel has already closed the gap down to 1.2, but I guess it's, I guess more, it's Andrew's drop back, because the gap to the leader is 7.5 to Kitten Petter. But Joel's going to have Andrew here for P2 in the next lap. This is going to be crazy. Yes, Matty Rubble, we love having you in AM 1.5. It's so fun to race alongside you. I enjoy duking it out. AM 1.5 is the best tier.
I think the British guys coming in over bringing the rain with them. I think AM1 has had more rain races this season.
Honestly.
Than I think I can remember.
We'll have to go back and document and see every time we have a European reserve, do we have rain? And maybe they curse it, but if they like, maybe they like rain. I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't live over there in it rain all the time. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't rain there all the time. Maybe it's just rumors, conspiracy. Who knows?
Who knows? All right. Well, Joel, while we've been chatting about the rain, Joel has been pouring it on track and has caught up to Andrew, and will be overtaking him this lap most likely as we come up on a lapped Kaz. And Joel looking down the outside, but Andrew placing his car down the middle of the track very wisely. But Joel, fresher tires, is able to stick it down the inside going into turn 2. Nice wheel-to-wheel action, very clean. And Joel gets ahead for P2. And we'll look for the back markers to move out of the way, even though they're ghosted. Or we'll just... So now Joel's going to try and cut down that 6.7 gap to Kitten Petter with 6 laps to go. So Joel needs to put down a second a lap now to Kitten Petter if he wants that win. I don't know if he can do it, but we'll see.
It's going to be very interesting. And Joel's tires are only going to get worse now that he's got 7 laps on them. But Kitten Petter does have 15 laps on those hards, but it's 5 less than Andrew's, so Kitten Petter's pace is definitely going to be faster than Andrew's.
Absolutely. And I'm on board with Bodhod, who has closed right up on Rumfresh for P7, so Bodhod will be getting some solid points in this race. I believe point structure, is that 6 points for P7? Because I think go 1, 2,
4, 5,
or 5 maybe. Because I thought it goes
5.
1, 2, and then 4 points for P8. I'll have to check. Anyways, Bodhod.
I think we would know this.
I should know this. Bodhod closing out on Rumfresh. Doesn't go for a move, but being on the softer tire. Oh, Rumfresh runs a little bit wide, and Bodhod's able to capitalize by shooting down the inside. So Bodhod's now up to P7. And we've got Dressa in the chat saying if Kitten Petter wins this race, it'll be 2 for 2 tonight for Haas winning at Hungary. And Haas's bankroll in this season, they've pulled out all the stops to get the most consistent drivers in contest of speed. They are dominating the overall Constructors' Championship we have going on at the moment. And this will just pad the lead even more. So Joel has been able to close the gap down to 5.6 seconds, but I don't know if it might be too little too late. Oh, Bodhod has already cut up to Google Doogle, so this will be an interesting battle on track as well.
And Bod just on them soft tires, just eating away at those gaps.
Yeah, just doing time trial laps right now, just ripping around. So Bodhod looking for a move on Google Doogle. Looks to the inside. Late braking, and is able to get by the AlphaTauri man for P6.
Kaz is off at the exit of turn 1.
So Kaz has gone a little bit wide. We'll see. Does iFunner see him here? Oh yeah, he is into the wall. So unfortunate for Kaz, DNFing from this race. Oops.
It's a very interesting place, unless He just got loose overcorrected maybe and just put it straight into the wall.
Yeah, it's possible. Yep. But so now Joel 4.7 seconds with 3 laps to go in this race. But now we're hitting the point where those mediums are probably not starting to feel so nice, so we'll see if Joel has a mastery on these medium tires at the end of this race. And as the Nightbot has said in the chat, be sure to get your vote in for driver of the race, driver of the day.
So Joel's tires, Bersy, aren't looking too bad. Only 30% on that left front.
Okay.
So not too terrible, honestly, to have 10 laps on him.
And Kitten Petter, I'm assuming he's probably sitting around 45, 50%?
Kitten sitting about 50% on the left front, 43, 42, 38. So
okay. Interesting. It's almost similar tire wear then. But I guess we'll see. We'll see if Joel can close up. Kitten Petter has done a master job up front.
Yeah, pretty just a solid drive all race, honestly. Just dodged the lap 1 carnage and just had the right strategy and had the brakes when he needed them, especially with everybody starting to race each other there for the midway point of the race whenever he was on his first stint.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think Kitten Petter showing that medium to hard strategy was the prime strategy. Although Joel has proved that the 2-stop has really paid off. I mean, did qualify P3 to Kitten's P10, but he is proving it. He's proven it out here.
It can be done.
We've got a Rumfresh and Google Dougal. Oh, Google Dougle's able to keep Rumfresh at bay for the moment. So the battle for P7 is fierce right now. Let's see if Rumfresh running low on fuel and ERS. Looking to get some more points for Alfa Romeo. And with 2 laps to go. So Joel 4.3 seconds back. Might just be a smidge out of reach for P1, but fantastic drive from the McLaren man. And Kitten Petter has one warning to Joel's 0 warnings. And that's impressive that Joel has 0 warnings at this point in the race, DK.
Oh, that's very good. It is very impressive, especially on this track. He looked like he just about wrecked right there, but.
So Rumfresh looking for a move on Google Dougal, going down the inside, but Google Dougal able to hold the line. We'll see here. Rumfresh has gotten ahead, so Rumfresh up to P7.
I think to leave Hungary without any penalties is a good day.
No, absolutely. And the top
Any race
three have done just that. So Kaz is in the chat, and he said that he had to answer his phone coming out, and he lost it coming out of the pit lane. So unfortunate, distracted driving there.
Do not text and drive, kids.
No, do not text and drive, let alone in a race car.
Kitten Petter started his final lap.
Who's that IndyCar driver that did that at F2? I think it was F2 he did that. Shoot.
I can't remember. The only person.
Ferrucci
Bodhod.
like
what happened to Bodhod? Bodhod's retired. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Did Bodhod
That's on the
lose
last. No, it's not.
Oh,
He lost it coming out of turn 13.
Oh no. I wonder if he just got on the power a little bit too early and slammed into the wall. Yeah, and there is the Mercedes of Bodhod. So the championship is alive, because as we talked about pre-race,
yes,
Bodhod needed to get points to
It is
lock up this
alive
championship,
and
but this
well.
championship is alive and well now. Yes, Alp is right. Santino Ferrucci is who I was thinking of. I'm pretty sure he was the driver that was.
Yes.
He got a pretty nasty fine or something like that for having his phone in the car.
Kitten Petter around in final corner. Excellent drive from the Haas man.
Kitten Petter wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Sorry to cut you off there.
You good?
Yeah, and Joel, fantastic drive from Joel Granger for P2, and Andrew, solid points for AlphaTauri. P for Andrew, a little wiggle at the end, and SRS.
So I think with that. Oh, sorry. I'll wait till everybody finishes.
Oh, it's all good. So we got Rogue P5, Rumfresh. P6, and Google will jump him for a P6, and then iFunner and Porridge are the last to finish out on track here. And that'll do it for the Hungarian Grand Prix AM2 edition.
Yep. I was going to say with that result, Kenton Petter and Andrew will flip-flop in the points. Kenton Petter should be P2 now, Andrew P3, and Bodhod almost had a 100-point lead. That lead will be reduced to at least 70 point lead. No, I'm all kinds of wrong.
No, you're right. It's
no.
The cost telemetry has just come up in the chat. So Bodhod has 266, and Kitten Petter will be in third place with 200 points now. So
yep,
that helps out, and I'm sure Andrew, being P3, helped his case for P2 a little bit, closing that gap down to Bodhod. So the championship for AM2 is alive and well as we go into the final 6 races of the season. We will have a little break for the Christmas holidays, but otherwise,
2-week vacation.
Nice little 2-week vacation.
Or holidays, the European guys like to call it.
Right, yeah. So there we are. So, so DK, if you wouldn't mind getting Joel and...
Yes, I can get Andrew and Kitten. I'll work on Joel.
Okay, sounds good. So here we have it. Kitten Petter, Joel, and Andrew. Hamram, Rogan, Google, Rumfresh, iFunner, Porridge, and VTech, Bodhod, Kaz, Young DJ, P-Dog, all unfortunately DNF'd out of this race. So we started with 14, finishing with 8, I guess, on track. Oh, Porridge and VTech finished. My bad. But Bodhod was the last to retire. And there you have it. The Hungarian Grand Prix has been done.
You want to handle the interviews?
Sure, I can do that. Alrighty. We'll head over to the showroom. And we've got all the drivers in here. Drivers, please make sure your audio is set to share if you haven't done so already. And Andrew, we'll start with you. So you had a solid qualifying, and then you opted for the single stop strategy. So walk me through your race.
Yeah, so we did do the one-stop strategy to go to the hard tire. In the past race here, we come out behind traffic, so tried to limit coming out of the pit to only being like one time. But besides that, the race was pretty good. Just tried to not pick up any penalties. I saw the Renault drivers had picked up penalties, and I was battling with those guys a lot of the first stint. And then it was just trying to keep those other guys, the guys that came in P1 and P2 behind, but they ultimately were able to overtake. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of good driving against those Renault guys, and Kit and Petter and Joel also made some good overtakes, so the driving was very enjoyable, and I'm pretty happy to come in third again. So yeah, looking forward to next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. Joel, congratulations on your maiden podium in AM2.
Thank you.
Well, walk us through your race. You qualify P3, and you've opted for the two-stop strategy, so let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I invalidated my final flying lap, and I'd done 2 laps on one set of tyres, which I eventually started on. So I had a lot of tyre wear right from the start, so that forced me to pit a bit earlier, which definitely works in my favour, because I think I jumped from like 4th all the way to the lead from the undercut, so that worked well. And then, yeah, I just tried chasing down the 2 guys who had one-stopped, and could only get Andrew, because Kitten's pace was incredible, even on those hards. But yeah, good race.
Absolutely. No, you had a fantastic drive. We saw when you came out of the pits, we thought you were gonna, we weren't sure, and then we started seeing that gap close down to Andrew, and we were like, there's a chance that Joel can get P1 here if he keeps pushing. But you're right, the man who closes things out, Kit and Petter, getting things done, just had a little bit of stronger pace. So Kitten, walk us through your race, opting to qualify on the medium tire and go for that single stop strategy.
Yeah, just to get a little business out of the way first, shout out to my personal sponsor, Busch Light. Best fans behind the Iron Curtain here in Budapest. Yeah, the qualifying was pathetic. I spun twice, and even whenever I did set a lap, it was piss poor. But really, I don't want to sound conceited. As soon as I got out of turn 1 and I was in like 5th, I kind of knew I was going to win. My hard pace is pretty good around here. I wasn't even really pushing it too much after I got past Andrew. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of saw that gap dropping from Joel, who did a great job, must be said, at about 3 a.m. GMT. And, yeah, just kept the thing on the track. Pretty much all I had to do. Setup was great. I had an EU4 race here a couple weeks ago, and same setup from that, same exact strategy. Finished P2 in that one, and P1 in this one, so pretty happy with it.
No, absolutely. I think what set all 3 of you guys apart was the fact that all of you were able to keep it so clean. If any one of you kind of want to comment on like what does it take to keep things clean and not pick up any warnings around here at Hungary?
You've just got to drive between the white lines. It's pretty simple.
I guess so. I guess it's more.
Yeah,
simpler.
really. Yeah, the only real challenge I think is turn 4, but even that's. I mean, I think that's where I got my one warning, and that was on like lap 3. As long as you hit that, I mean, there's really nowhere else to make a big mistake, I don't think.
No, that's very fair. DK, do you have any questions for the lads while they're here in the party?
I just want to say, Andrew, Kit and Petter, championship's still up for grabs, so make it interesting, please. Please make
What's
it
the gap
interesting.
now to? What is the gap at?
70? Somewhere around 70 points
Well, what
to
about
Bodhod.
between me and Kit and Petter?
It was
that?
six before going into the race, and obviously I think you two might
So it'll be like
flip flop
-4.
from P2. It could. I don't know. It's still pretty. It's gonna be close.
It's neck and neck. Yeah.
Yeah, and with Bodhod scoring no points this race, you guys closed the gap.
Yeah, where did
A
he
race to him. The turn 13.
Oh,
He exited the turn 13. Yeah.
I'll have to make
But,
fun.
Yep. 2 more comments. Joel, thanks for joining us over here with the Americans. I know we're all crazy and wild. And Kit and Petter, Bush. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Fueled by rich energy and Busch Light.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. All right, thank you guys so much. And thank you to the viewers for tuning in. The Nightbot has put the schedule in the chat But just a reminder that you can catch our top tiers in both the European and American side tomorrow, starting with EU1 at 10 p.m. BST, and then America's AM1 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thanks so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful week.